how do you know 2 or 3 years in advance what numbers you're going to hit in your business? How do you know that?
The whole purpose of this show is to engage with business owners and be able to answer questions for people that will give them some insight and perspective on how to grow and scale a business. Not only leadership, but real life examples. This is the golden moment. I would do business with you right now.
This is Natalie Dawson, co-founder, and she is in charge of operations and marketing for Cardone Ventures. Nobody gets hired here if they don't get through Natalie, and no new websites or design programs get put up if they don't get checked through Natalie, because we're doing some cool, new, innovative stuff. We're ready to push this organization to the next level. This GrowthCon event for us, we're going to be making a whole series of announcements that are big announcements. And we are so excited about the balance of 2022. First of all, can we believe that we are already ending in a week and a half or 2 weeks, quarter one of 2022? It is insane that we're 2 years. I was thinking that 2 years ago when COVID hit, we were in Vegas, right?
Yeah.
It's been 2 years dealing with all this shit, and we're back at it. We are not going to give up. We're going to push it to the next level. So excited to see everybody. And it's hard when we know what's in store for all of you. It's hard not being overly excited because we know how remarkable this GrowthCon is going to be, and we know why.
If any of you guys are still interested in getting tickets, we have a handful of people that just, as an event gets closer and starts
For whatever
looming.
reason, they can't make it. We have some executive tickets.
I think we have, last I checked, we have 11 executive
So
tickets.
we have 11 executive tickets. If anybody's in the Miami,
Josh says 9.
Nine. Okay,
We have 9
so
executive
they're
tickets.
moving as fast as they come available. So Jared Glant left the office about an hour and a half ago. We were working on something. He told Natalie and I we had 11 tickets. And now Josh is saying 9 because there's still a team over there moving tickets. So if you know anybody that's in the area or anybody that wants to come, just give them a call. They will secure whatever we have for inventory for you for sure. All right. So what are we going to talk about tonight besides being excited? Sorry, we got this beautiful new teleprompter. I'm admiring it. It's hard for me to see though with my trifocals. Josh is laughing. I'm going to need to get a special set of glasses that just have the middle lens.
You can have your people figure that one out for you.
I asked Natalie this morning, I tried to get something, we go between our house in Arizona, our house here, our house in Washington, and there was something that wasn't at our house. I can't remember what it was here. And I
Body
said,
soap. It was body soap.
Body soap. I go, don't we have people for this? And she goes, I am the people for this. And I go, then
I
you need to get on them and tell them to get their job done.
I'm not the people. I am just people.
This is awesome. All right. So what are we talking about?
We were going to plan some Q&A for this Owners Live show.
Q&A, but we also were going to talk about something that's happening after this Owners Live. So I forget what we were going to talk about. Mastermind. And so what else? There was something else.
Just that.
Okay. So look, get ahead of this because we're going to be announcing, first of all, we were just told after GrowthCon. So GrowthCon's over on Sunday. So Monday, last year we did this, we had an exclusive mastermind.
I was talking about Cabo Mastermind.
I know, but I'm saying we had an exclusive mastermind and we were told to expect hundreds and hundreds of people because of how successful last year was. And the reason I bring that up is because we're going to be introducing and talking to everybody about the Cabo Mastermind, the second half of GrowthCon. It's going to come up and all day on that Monday. So if you want to secure seats, we can only take 25 people. And Josh, I can see you on here. Put your hands up. But I think you've already sold probably a third of those. So if you guys are thinking about wanting to join us, and we'll put the flyer up for the Costco.
We're not going to
The
Costco
Cabo.
for our
The
mastermind.
Cabo Mastermind.
We will be going to Cabo.
April
mastermind.
30th and May 1st. April 30th and May 1st. Cabo Mastermind is $25,000 a seat. If you want to register for this and get yourself locked in, and we might do a Costco run in Cabo because it happens to be the best store for us to shop at. But if you're interested, make sure you get in the front of that line, because this will be closed by Monday for sure, the day after GrowthCon. So anyhow, if it's something you want to participate in, love to have you. What's that? Somebody write something.
There is a Costco.
Yeah, it's a
in
great
Cabo.
Costco. It's a great Costco.
Every Costco is a great Costco. We love Costco.
All right. Yes, Natalie and I will be at the Bahamas Mastermind. Russ, we are flying some people out on the plane because at the Grant Cardone Foundation event, they bid on flying over with us. So we'll be taking some people on our plane with us over there, on our temporary plane, I should say. Our plane's being painted as we speak.
You guys are gonna love.
It's gonna be so cool.
You're gonna love it. It's a
It's gonna be
little
so-
loud.
Yeah,
It's
just
a
show you
little
real quick. Here,
obnoxious.
I'll
Oh,
just
you're gonna show them?
show you real quick.
Oh,
Just kidding.
I
I'm
was
not
gonna
gonna show
say,
you. You have to wait till it comes out.
we're a little nervous how this is gonna show out, but we're confident.
We're excited
We're
about it.
committed. It's
All
very
right.
In 10x fashion.
All right, so let's do this. Let's open it up for some questions. If you have questions, we can start bringing.
Things that you could ask questions on, leadership topics that you're struggling with. Maybe you have a team member issue that you're struggling navigating.
Maybe you have a big win.
You're in
A big win.
Oh,
What about a big win?
we love wins.
Somebody might have a big win.
This helps us prep for the greatest day of the week, aka Wednesday, which happens to be tomorrow. So we love hearing your wins on Tuesday because we get to share them with our whole team on
Wednesdays. Let's bring Greg on because he's got his camera on.
Dr. G.
Dr. G,
Come
how
on
are you,
down.
buddy?
Guys, I'm doing absolutely fantastic. Appreciate you for pulling me up. I was going through some of the trainings that you've got out there. What's up, Russ? Hey, Russ has motivated me to work out a lot more over the last couple of months. I just got done with a workout, so I'm a little out of breath. Thanks,
Nice.
Russ. Appreciate you,
Me
dude.
too. Me too. Have you been working?
Anyway, the question I had was, you talk about 31 million businesses in America, and 25 million of them have one employee or less. And the question I had is, how many of those companies are shell companies, like you talked about in your business purchasing program?
Well,
does it even include shell companies in those 25 million?
those are businesses that pay that. Those are businesses that are registered and they're paying taxes as a
Okay,
business.
so it wouldn't include. Okay.
Yeah, those are active, what they call active businesses. And when they become inactive, they then get counted as went out of business.
Okay, I didn't know that if that was in there or not, but I appreciate your answer on that. And then on the win side, number one, can't wait for GrowthCon. Super excited about that. Can't even tell you. But we had this last 4 weeks, 2 of the 4 weeks, we had our best weeks ever. Part of being the SBU team, and it's just growing from there, man. So I really appreciate everything you guys have done. Partnering
That's
with
awesome.
AMI, partnering with you guys was obviously, number 3 and number 4 best decisions of my life after, getting married and having a couple kids. So
That's awesome, dude. Well, it's good to see you. And just, look, just so everybody understands how momentum works, right? It's slow. It's sometimes it's granular, but it compounds. And then when it starts to compound, I mean, you were just telling me about Jackie's business. We have somebody that we've been working with. She's been through a lot. We really, when I talk about scale, maximizing what you have, that's what she did. And now she's moved to scaling. She's up 100%, 97% year to date over last year. And last year she grew at like 35%. But the most important thing is her profitability stat was up how much?
Net income was up by 300.
The net income was up almost 400%.
Yeah.
So she made enough money that she had a new problem last year, which was trying to buy a building, or I think she bought a building that she invested in because she generated so much cash. So, all this working harder and not smarter isn't necessarily the right way to do it. So, and you're going to be hearing, what I'm excited about, I just say, is that some of these stories that we're going to hear about at GrowthCon from people like you guys, just absolutely crushing it. And to be able to see that and see the success that they're having is just, it's a dream come true for us because it's why we exist.
Totally.
So I can't wait to be sharing that information with you guys and you hearing it directly from the sources when we're there at GrowthCon.
GrowthCon is like a little bit of an emotional experience for us because we've also been participants at GrowthCon. For the last few, we've been part of the team that executes on GrowthCon, but we were first just like many of you are, where you're prepping the week before. I still have on my story highlights the prep that we did coming into GrowthCon when we went for the first time in 2019. And I remember all of the anticipation and the excitement leading up to it and the like not knowingness, which is so cool. Like soak in the not knowingness because we're going to blow your freaking minds. But what I was thinking about earlier this week, as we've been kind of crafting what we want to say and how we want to say it, is how thankful I am that the speakers who spoke in 2019 did their job in properly sharing these stories, because Brandon and I would not have taken action if these people wouldn't have been ballsy enough and gutsy enough to share their stories with the world and to compel people to become a different version of themselves. And for us, that's what this 10X movement is about. It's about reaching and stretching further beyond what you think you're capable of and actually chasing after this thing called your potential. And for us, as we've been going through this prep process over this week, it's just been this fun thing of, oh, I remember how I felt, and really being called. Like it's a calling. It's not just like somebody's asking you to do something. It's like, when you know that you can do more, you are called to do it. I explained to him as like, I'm being pulled forward. I remember sitting in those seats and like, I felt close in proximity to those speakers. I knew none of them personally, but I felt in close proximity to them because they were telling me and giving me confidence that like, Natalie, you can freaking do this. You can figure out marketing. You can figure out sales. You can do these stages. I mean, all of the content back then, it was just like, oh my God, you're right. I can do this. And they were speaking to me. And so for us, we've had this kind of fun process the last few days of going through, okay, like how can we call people to be the best version of themselves? And that demands of us that we show up for each and every one of you, and we're the best versions of ourselves and be that example.
And what's cool, I think, for us to sit in the room is when everyone's talking about what we should do and what the experience is, we're their closest direct representation because we remember every detail.
Yeah.
And they're like, how'd you guys feel about this? Or when you saw that, what did you think? Or when you heard this, what did you hear? Or when, you know, it's like to be able to toggle between, because this is our third GrowthCon as an insider, whereas the first GrowthCon and Dr. Greg, that's where I think we met Dr. Greg the first day, the first half of the first day at that 2009 event.
Did you hand us a book?
Yeah.
I it's interesting because you talk about being intentional. And the reason why I went to that GrowthCon was to meet people that were going to help me shape my future and change my life. That was my intention. That's why I purchased the diamond ticket, because I didn't have the money to purchase that, really. I borrowed it, but I thought it was that impactful. I thought that GrowthCon was going to be that impactful, and it ends up it was. But I met you guys, yeah, and I gave you a book about, it's called A New Kind of Normal, and it was just written about our family and what we had gone through after having our son. If you remember that, good.
I totally remember that. I totally remember being handed that book, and now like that, I mean, I know you very well now, but I didn't put that together. Guys, like you're going to make these connections at this event. And that is what is magical about GrowthCon, but you have to be intentional about, even on the virtual experience, like how do you make the most out of the people who are also showing up virtually? Because it just takes one person to change the entire direction of where your business is heading, where your personal life is heading, in whatever area it is that you're looking to 10X. Hopefully it's all areas that you're looking to 10X, but that one that's like holding you back, the whole event is created to give you the content and the tools and the network that you need in order to help you become that next person.
100%. All right. Good to see you, Dr. G. Can't wait. Let's go to, who should we get there? I can't see.
I can't see.
JC, you just pick somebody.
Oh, Anthony's selling himself.
Do it.
I love it when somebody sells himself.
Anthony, how you doing, buddy?
Lori's next. Lori sold herself next.
Still muted.
He's still muted, bud.
Oh, no, he should be good.
He's not muted, but he's not going. No sound.
Oh, no. What's happening?
No sound.
He can hear us.
We'll circle back to Lori.
Okay, get your sound figured out. There you go. Lori, how are you?
I am so good and so bad. I
Uh-oh.
am so good because things are going so great, but so bad I can't be at GrowthCon. But you know, we held this huge contest here and bought a ticket, and the winner is our operations manager, Rick, and he is so pumped to be there and so excited.
Awesome.
So I'm super excited for him. But my question tonight is for Natalie. So first of all, Natalie, I just want to thank you for the way you show up all the time, and you're so humble about your own growth. Like what you've been through in the last 3 and 4 years with the business, 2 years. And you're always saying, you know, I didn't know how to do marketing and I just figured it out. And you're so real on your podcast, and it's just completely inspirational. So thanks for that. My question is, my general manager is leaving and has, you know, given notice. He's leaving at the end of the month. We've all read Teamwork. I think I've given 26 copies away so far. But my question is, I've got the operations manager on his way to GrowthCon. I've got a salesperson who is in St. Louis. I've got 4 out of 11 employees that are within 90 days of coming on board. When is the best time to tell them that he's leaving? Because we're not going to celebrate it. Obviously, we're going to, you know, in working with Felipe on our SBU team, you know, the best way to approach it is that, you know, it's part of his PPF goals, and we're going to honor that and wish him well, right? But I've got people here, there, and everywhere. And what's the best way to announce it without causing an uproar?
I would definitely never announce an employee transition if it's voluntary or involuntary on a daily all-team meeting. Because even though the whole team is there, you just, you're sharing wins. You're talking about what's happening. It's not an operational meeting. Knowing that you have 11 team members, it's not like they're not going to notice the next day when one person is gone. So I do believe that you have to share that in some sort of company-wide announcement. I would recommend doing it via email, especially knowing that he is chasing his PPFs and it's led him a different direction. Sharing a nice 4-sentence email about, hey, this is the transition that's happening. This is when it's happening. Let's all congratulate our team member on this next phase. We wish you well in your future endeavors. As you grow, like we stopped making those announcements after about 15 team members. So now we will announce in departments. So like, okay, the department needs to know, but the whole company doesn't need to know about every transition that takes place, because it's a distraction. And you can think in the moment that it's a setback or that it's a loss, because it feels like that. If somebody doesn't have context, it could feel like, oh gosh, I wonder what happened. And it sends everybody in a direction that isn't the direction that they need to be headed, which is, what do I need to do today in order to help the company grow and help myself grow?
Right. So would you send that out like at the end of this? Well, Friday, we're having a big virtual GrowthCon here. We've got
to do it on Wednesday. If his last day is at the end of the month, I think that's like the following. I think that's either
Thursday.
Next Friday.
It's next Thursday.
Okay, I would say it on Wednesday.
The day before.
Just enough time.
Just say, look, at the end of the day, otherwise what you end up doing is you get the water cooler conversations, and then it just spirals. So my most favorite time to announce when somebody isn't there is to announce who I replaced them with.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I talk about who's there, and even if someone's moving on to pursue their PPF goals, I'm pretty myopic this way. I care about who's here. Yeah, I honor people that like it's been great working. Like when Buck left, I mean, I think we told the organization, hey, as of tomorrow, Buck's no longer with the organization. Now we knew there was a transition, but why make it distracting to everybody else? And all the time wasted, people going in the office, where are you going and what are you doing and what do you think? And then him getting bogged down. I need him to clean up what he was working on, not playing, conversation for 2 or 3 weeks. So it's a distraction. So basically it's like, hey, we want to honor such and such. Thanks for your contribution. Here's what we're doing operationally moving forward. And here's how you direct your questions or concerns. Let's charge forward.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much.
Awesome.
Appreciate
Great question. Bye. And you know what? Always celebrate when people move on, because that means they were done where they're at. So that's fine. You don't have to answer. I'm just telling everybody listening, when people move on, They're moving to their next thing. You need to be celebrating and getting somebody in that wants to go to the next level.
And that's the time to double down on the mission and the vision and the values, because it's your responsibility as a leader to direct the troops and to share where we're going, and devoid of restating that, devoid of having a picture around it. People are just going to make all their natural assumptions because they don't have context. You can't give them context from an HR standpoint. You don't want to, you shouldn't.
Sure.
But you need to like go back to, that's one of the first things we do whenever transition happens. Hey, guess what? We're on a mission to help 1 million business owners achieve their personal, professional, and financial goals so they grow their business. We have a lot of freaking work to do. So if you have time to be talking about all these other things, you're clearly not doing the work. So like, how do we focus on the main thing? Because it's tied to your growth.
100%. And so someone just asked, Brandon, how much working capital do you recommend before we bring Anthony back on? I would say, I teach that. We teach it at the finance workshop, but my algorithm is you want to have a month of working capital. When you get a month of working capital, you want 90 days of working capital. Target 3 is after 90 days, 6 months of working capital. Target 4 is 9 months. Target 5 is 12 months. Target 6 is 15 months, and target 7 is 18 months. I like to have 18 months of working capital. So you just take if your revenues went away and all you had was the cash in the bank, I want to have the ability through the life raft drill. So go read emergency business response, cardoventures.com/emergency. We talk specifically about the life raft drill. I want to know that if I balance out my organization, so if I went to 0 revenues, I need to know the exact fixed costs I could get rid of or variable costs I can eliminate right away. And then I want to have enough cash maintaining my critical payroll and the things I have to do as a business and my obligations like rent and things like that. I wanted to have enough cash to go 18 months. Then I sleep well at night, and anything over that I invest back into the business or I distribute it out. And so that would be my answer there. So
Hold on.
Yeah.
Before we go off of talking about a life raft, the life raft kind of equates to a yacht, maybe. I would love to show this video.
Oh, there we go.
Of
Let's do it.
what the Cabo Mastermind is going to look like, because it's pretty sick. I say that around here. It's pretty sick. Say that to the team all the time. Hey, that was super sick, don't I?
I don't ever want to be average. I want to be the best at whatever I do, because you're only going to live one life. You might as well put it all in and exit.
Were you ever given an opportunity to be around people that you know you could vet, that the mentors that you believe in would bring in people who mentored them? So you get the best of, like, you get the beginning of the cycle and you get the end of the cycle and you get the middle of the cycle.
That's the one thing I would have done different. I should have invested money early on in getting around people that had been there, people that had done it.
You are like the people you spend your time around, right? It's amazing to have the people that know how to be successful.
I'm in the Cabo mood just watching that.
Yeah, that Cabo trip was amazing for us because I had asked 3 of my mentors. I had Hector, Mark, and Bart. And Glenn Sanford was there, happened to be there.
These masterminds get crazy. You don't know who's
You
going to
don't know
show
who's
up.
going to show up. And
who we're going to
we
surprise
had
you
3
with.
billionaires, 3
Mhm.
billionaires. My most, the mentor that, and when people listen to Hector talk, they're like, oh my God, Brandon sounds exact. So for them to get that reference point of model, mimic, and mastery and the impact a mentor can have on you is,
You don't get to cry.
I just love Hector.
There's no crying. We would love to have you join our Cabo Mastermind. If you want to take advantage of this before we offer this to 10,000 people in 2 days from now, we would love to have you guys be the ones who join us. We love our existing relationships. We love making those offers to you guys first. Because new people are awesome. We want to bring new people into the 10X community, but you guys are what we like to call our CVOGs.
Yeah, there you go.
And so if you are interested, click the QR code or scan the QR code, or in the chat, you can just let our sales team know and they'd be happy to give you more details and to walk you through the sign up process. This mastermind, Cabo, we got married in Cabo. Cabo is just a special spot, especially in April. It is gorgeous in the month of
The
April.
weather is perfect.
And the best thing is just the time to ask questions.
And when I secured that yacht that holds 35, I think it's 30 people. So
What do you think
It's-
people can learn from asking you and Grant questions and surprise guests, unknown surprise guest questions?
well,
Like, what would be your best question to Grant if you didn't have the relationship with Grant? And what would be your best question to you if you didn't know you, if you weren't you?
for the best question of Grant is when he made the decision to kick it in.
Mhm.
Like what? Like that moment that he's like, I'm going to take control.
Mhm.
What did you do to actually do it?
Oh, I like that question.
And I think if I was going to ask me a question,
Would you like want context? It's like, what would you do? What did you do then? And then what would you do now? Or would it just be then?
I just want to know at that point in time, you know,
Do you
Grant,
still want to know this? Because we could like ask him.
well, I talked to him about it,
Oh,
but
okay.
I thought you asked if I
Oh,
was
no,
sitting
should-
there and I
okay,
was
all right,
asking a
You're right,
question.
you're right, you're right.
For if I was going to ask me a question,
Yeah. What would
it
you
would
could
be
ask
that
yourself a question?
it would be almost the same question. It'd be like, when you know you're going to take action towards something,
Mhm.
how is it that you're so determined or committed?
Mm.
Like getting you, for example,
You were committed to that. That's true.
I had to be.
Yeah,
She made me
really
work
did.
for it.
You
But
really
but
did.
here's the thing. It's like when you know what you want, how do you manifest? So you see this picture, I would want to know, like, how do you, a year or 2 or 3 or 5 years earlier, you see this picture, how the hell do you actually make that thing happen? Because if you go back and listen to the way I talk about our revenue numbers 3 years ago. I've been showing the break slide for 3 years, talking about what we're going to do in year 1, year 2, year 3, and we have hit every number I talked about. So like,
How?
that was what I would want to know if I was paying attention. Like, how do you know 2 or 3 years in advance what numbers you're going to hit in your business? How do you know that? How do you know?
What's the biggest thing that you've learned? Because you and Grant have.
They have to come to
obviously-
Cabo to
No,
the Cabo Mastermind.
listen, I am great at this. If you would just let me do my job, I will let you do yours. Now that you and Grant have the relationship, like the more personal relationship that you have, what are the things that you see and have access to from having the proximity that might surprise somebody, but that they would want to learn through being in closer proximity or pay attention to?
I think the thing, maybe this is a mastermind question, maybe we should tease them what kind of questions that would get answered at a mastermind. Because I'm giving insight to something that very few people have insight.
But I feel like you can give this insight.
Yeah, but nobody gets to see this.
It's pretty special.
We're-
We still, in full transparency, like we're still total fans. It's like a little bit of a weird thing. We are business partners and friends with the
And we
Cardos,
spend a lot of time with
but
them.
we're also like
Huge
mega
fans, yeah.
like mega fans. It's great to have, support system there for that.
So I
So
would say,
hold on. So after we spend time with them, still to this day, we like debrief what we learned. Do you guys do this too with your significant other, like maybe your mom or whoever is important in your life, where you like you experience something and then you have that person that you talk through? I see the couples nodding. You talk through like, oh, what'd you pick up here? Oh, and then we like compare notes. That's what we do. So we just did this last night.
yeah, so someone asked me a question, said, first Owners Live, first time on Owners Live, question for Brendan. Knowing what you know now, when Larry, who lived next door to you in Atlanta, asked you, Brandon, what are you going to do? What would you tell yourself? Which business would you start? First of all, I'm trying to figure out if I've ever said that my buddy's name was Larry.
Tell me, are you stalking Brandon to know him from something that he
There's
said in
no
a different
way
piece of
somebody
content?
knew
Or do
that my
you
buddy
know
Larry-
Brandon and Larry? That's what we want to know. Because maybe you
So-
said it, but but my other question was so good.
Oh yeah, I'll go back to Grant.
Hey,
So
Squirrel.
well, I just like, how she know I knew a Larry? So
Welcome. Welcome to Tuesday night with the Dawsons. on
So
10X
look,
Owners
the thing
Live
that still surprises me is you might
on the
think,
B Dawson show. See, I
oh,
knew.
the B Dawson show, there you go. So there you go. All right, so that's good. I was like, man, somebody from Atlanta days.
Oh boy. I would love if any of you guys know anybody in Atlanta that could have spent time with Brandon between the ages of 18 and 21.
She wants to know.
I would give you a $10,000 bounty to find somebody who could come on
Josh-
Owner's Live.
Josh says they're all
and share
dead.
stories.
They're all dead. Okay, so
Nice.
so here's the thing. So the question was, when we're around Grant and Elena, what's the one thing that's still like is surprising to us
That you learn from being in
that
close proximity.
that I've learned from being in close proximity, and it's literally how fast he can go from an idea to an action.
Hmm.
We will be sitting there talking, and he'll be like, you know what we need to do? You know what we need to do? We need to do blah, blah, blah. And we'll be like, this is great. We'll go have a meeting tomorrow. He's like, no, we're just gonna do it right now. We just need to go right now. We just need to, and like, he'll get on the phone and call people, and then stuff will go in action and be posted on social and a story with a landing page
It's
and a link,
wild.
and it happens, and it's gonna
It
run
happens
in a blink.
Before we plan, like if the conversation happens at 8 p.m., the landing page and the promotion is up before 7 a.m. And we had planned a meeting at, I thought we were on top of it by
Yeah.
having a meeting at 9 a.m. I'm like, okay, we got this. And it's just the speed in which he has trained every single person around him to move.
And this is
It's
why I talk about the
unbelievable.
4 A's: acknowledge, accept, take action towards what you want. And what I've really learned from Grant was attack speed. He has moved, he has single-handedly taught me how to reduce and eliminate time from an action, from a thought to an action. And I think to see it when it happens, though, to be sitting there completely talking about something different. And then we have a thought, hey, what about, and he's like, what's he like to do? The polls. Let's do a poll. And he'll just do a poll with us sitting there. It'll be
Like,
random
Hey, I
conversation.
wonder why people moved forward with this product.
And he'll do a
Like,
poll.
Oh yeah,
And then
maybe
2
on
hours
next
later,
week's
a
call.
landing page is getting set up. We're both posting stuff about it, and we're taking orders the next morning. And it's like that is what's the 4 A's? Acknowledge, accept, take action towards what you want, then attack it as you gain momentum. So that attack speed, Grant has taught me, and this is why he blew up from 2010 to 2021. I mean, just since we've been partners, they have compounded their net worth at least 2.5 times in 36 months.
You know what that actually teaches me is not to second guess your ideas. A lot of people, especially when you're small, you think you need all of these resources. If you add time to the equation, it's all of this planning and coordination. I need to talk to this person. I need to do that in order to move from, oh, what if this thing works? Or, oh, what if this new product we created and started sharing with the world tomorrow? When you have those ideas, if you can figure out a way to say, every time I have an idea, it might be a bad idea. Some of them don't work out. We've had many ideas where it's like, we moved really freaking fast. The thing didn't do what we wanted it to do. Okay, that's
But
fine.
that's even better because you can get out of it faster.
Yes, but you have confidence in your ideas and you don't know which one is the one to hit. So he's very confident and playful in the ideas that he has. Oh, I have this idea. Okay, great. Let's see if this works. If it works, awesome. Let's throw money at it. Let's throw resources at it. But regardless, I'm going to test out this idea because me as Grant Cardone, I'm a competent, capable human being that can create good ideas. Do you feel that way about your own
Yeah,
ideas?
confidence meter. So I know we need to bring Anthony. Did you get your computer? You switched computers, so you should be good.
Can you hear me?
We hear you, buddy. Good to
All
see you and hear you.
I don't actually have a question. I just wanted to talk about like what I've learned from this community and how it's helped me. Probably the past 10 years, my business has had good years, then down years, good years, then down years. And I always struggle, like, what am I doing? But the last 3 years, it's been a trajectory like this. It's slow growth, but everything for me comes hard. So I'm accepting the growth like this. And what I learned is my jobs that I'm doing, I'm a contractor, they're getting bigger and bigger. Like I can ask somebody for a check for $40,000 with a straight face and not even blink. But that confidence comes from this environment. And I just picked up one today for $40,000. And
Nice
that was
job.
it was signed the contract, got my money down, 40 grand. and all my jobs are like $100,000 easy, every single one. But I used to be timid at those numbers until I got the confidence of being on here every single week and hearing the people and hearing you guys succeed and all that success. It's contagious. And then I'm meeting my teller rep for Windows on a job, and I send him the link to GrowthCon for the virtual. I'm like, dude, you got to get in this. Like, it's so contagious. Me and my son are coming to GrowthCon. I'm just really excited, and I just want to let you guys know I appreciate all you do for us.
Anthony, that made my day. That was amazing.
That's awesome.
I
dude.
feel the same way. Every time I see you guys, it's a reminder. It's like every one of us on this call who shows up, we are in this pursuit of something. And for everybody that looks different, but the way that you show up and have discipline, I do the things I say I'm going to do. Every Tuesday night, I show up to a call at 5 Pacific time and I connect with other people. Like, this is you guys, I do it too, but I connect with other people and I develop my skill set and I ask great questions and I engage and I'm present. And this is going to get me closer to where I want to go. And when you do that over a compounded amount of time, you have more confidence because, first of all, you guys are amazing. You are business owners who are striving after something. It's hard to do that in an environment that's telling you you can't, that there's a recession coming, all the fear, scare tactics that are out there. You choose to have this belief regardless. And we choose to show up for you every single week, to share, to pour into you, to tell you what we're struggling with. And so it really does allow every person who does decide to commit and does decide to be disciplined like this. It's this mechanism, and it's so appreciated when you share success stories like that. And the whole point of this is, how do we eliminate the downs in a business growth cycle
and the
just
bigger
help with the ups?
Yeah, and the bigger thing is when you start, this is why Grant talks about you buy the way you spend. So this is a very important thing that we see in business all the time. If you're willing to write that check, what's crazy is that we have businesses that are like, I'm only doing 30 grand or 40 grand a month. They'll write a check for $40,000 to come to a 10X 360. They'll be scared to death. It'll be the biggest check they've ever written for anything they've ever invested in relative to their business. And then within 90 days, they're like, we're doing 100, 120, $150,000 a month. Well, it's because once you made that commitment and it didn't kill you, you're like, I wrote that check, but now you can have the same expectation with confidence that other people can write those checks. And what happens, Anthony, is as you're investing and as you're having it's $100,000 deal, and you're not like, I'm sorry, it's 100,000, and you're like, oh, that's a lot of money. You're like, I know, it's a lot, because you're timid, right? But as you start to go, it's 100,000. People are like, okay, how fast can you get it done? All of a sudden,
that's exactly what happened to me. I've gotten a kitchen that was like that, and I don't like bat an eye. There's no timidness.
No, and you know what you should say? You should say, with supply chain logistics and everything, it normally takes like 4 months, but for 135,000, I can pay a premium and get stuff overnighted to me and do it faster. I'll bet you those same people would say, I'll pay the difference, because we've been in this boat. People don't want things to drag on. They want it done. They want conclusion. And you never know who has money and what they're willing to spend and what they want to invest in. And so I'm just saying to all of you, don't ever be afraid to command the price that you need. But as you start doing bigger transactions, you'll start doing bigger transactions. Why?
Correct.
Because law of attraction kicks in, because a bird of a feather flocks together. So when you start doing jobs for people and someone goes, well, I don't know, do you really have the credibility? I mean, what's the biggest job you've ever done? And you're like, I just did a job up the street for $135,000. And here's what my client said about it. Here's a couple pictures. And by the way, she or he was so excited about what we did. Their phone number's on here, and they said anybody that wanted a reference to call. When you can get that level of confidence, you start banging out business, because you're not afraid. You've got confidence, and what drives business is confidence. And the number one hardest thing to do as a business owner is not only keep your confidence going, but maintain your confidence, because then when you start bringing other people in, you need to transfer that confidence to them by making their success easy. And that's how your business gets big.
That's
Speaking of
100% true.
you
And
just
the what?
go
I'm
ahead.
sorry.
No,
I was
no,
just
go
going
ahead.
to say what he mentioned about how you spend. I noticed I changed that as well. And like you just said, my customers do the same, like, they don't blink an eye. Like, we signed a contract before this one for $100,000 and the lady said, okay. Like, it didn't even phase her. And it actually took me back because we had to work for her brother in his kitchen. But then there was no other estimates, no other nothing. And she just wrote it.
This is where making sure you get, go take pictures, you get letters of recommendation, you get permission for referrals. You guys, when you break through this, you got to then get really myopic, make sure that you're getting that information, you're getting the recommendations, you're getting, while that enthusiasm's there, you're getting a post, you take a picture of it with the quote, you tag them on it, you ask them to retag it, then you take a picture of their retag and say, look at my customer even promoted this. Like you guys can't just walk away from those and then forget about them and move on. You got to take care of those people, because those will be that's your highway. You're paving the highway. Okay. So make sure you go back to those people and they know they're the most important people. Get the referrals, get the recommendations, do something nice for those people that they didn't ask for, and ingratiate them, because you want them putting you inside of their warm market, which is all their friends and family that like their new job that they just had done.
Speaking of testimonials, for those of you who are attending GrowthCon this week, if Cardone Ventures has helped you in your business in any way, please feel free to stop by the Cardone Ventures booth and to let us know that we've helped you, because we would love to get a testimonial while you are in person. That would be incredible for us. And we are definitely open to doing that while you're on site and having further conversations with you. I would like to just look the mastermind. You mentioned boats 2 minutes ago, and it just hasn't been off my brain ever since. Can we get the Cabo Mastermind slide back up on the screen? Guys, this boat is pretty awesome. This boat is 2 stories. You can't even see the boat because there's like a tiki torch and a 10x surfboard, which is pretty cool in this shot.
Is the boat in
Brandon
this?
and Grant, actually, they will not be wearing suits on the boat.
It's kind of weird. Where is the
Despite
boat?
what
Is
you
it in
might
the picture? Is
be
it hidden?
thinking, no, it's not in there.
Oh.
You know, it's a Cabo Mastermind with
Oh. The boat is phenomenal. It's a buddy of mine.
so you want to describe the boat?
Yeah, it's big and it's a hell of a lot of fun to jump off the top of it. And they have the little skidoo things that you go dive deep in the water. They got a couple of those. They got jet ski, I think, on the back of it.
Does this one have a hot tub?
This has the hot tub on
Oh.
it. This thing, this
Who
is like,
wants to hot tub?
this
with
is my buddy's
Brandon
$500,000.
and Grant in suits?
Maybe even more. It might be $1.5 million boat. Anyhow.
In Cabo. If you
And
are
the
one
food
of those
is
people,
remarkable.
So the way that this mastermind breaks down, the first day is all day Q&A. It's you.
Well, the first day,
Brandon,
actually, the first day
Grant.
is first half of the first day
Mhm,
is Q&A.
mhm,
The second half is the cruise,
mhm.
and it'll be Q&A on the boat
Uh-huh,
with a cocktail,
uh-huh.
if you so prefer,
And then what's the second?
and
day?
amazing food. And then the second day is Q&A
Oh.
all day with
Don't-
special guests.
Don't let the facts get in the way of a good story. On one of the 2 days, there will be a time where we're just going to be hanging out in a room asking questions to the special speakers. Brandon and Grant are definitely 2 of them, but there could be a couple of surprise guests. We have a lot of interesting friends in Cabo San Lucas. And then on the next day, we will be spending time on this boat, but there will still be Q&A time. So yes, the boat is awesome and we're big
First
fans
day
of the
boat.
boat. Whichever day the boat happens to be on, there will also be dedicated Q&A time where we can really work through, okay, what are the business challenges that you're having? What are the things that you would want to ask Brandon?
Or you might ask Natalie,
Who is a
now that she's a famous
mastermind.
author. She's getting a lot of attention, I can tell you. I'm really excited to see, like, I'm not kidding you. The interviews she's starting to line up and the people that are getting her books and the impact it's creating is pretty cool.
It's because I get to ask you questions
Pretty
every
soon
single
you won't
day.
care about what anything I have to say. I won't even be able to talk over her
Every
anymore.
single day I get to ask you questions and I get to ask Grant questions. I feel like I'm the luckiest person on the planet, and these people have an opportunity to get a fraction closer than the screen to you guys. And I've learned everything I've learned from you guys. I'm 28 years old, and I would just like to point out
29,
that
babe.
I'm not 29. I turned 29 in a month.
Oh, yeah. Well, like in 3 weeks,
This
maybe 2.5 weeks.
this still would make
You're
me
becoming
28
an old
years
lady.
You're so old. The point being, the reason that I have this skill set, this is not to toot my own horn, but I'm gonna toot my own horn for just a minute, because why have a horn if you don't toot it? the reason I have the confidence, the reason I have the business acumen, the reason that I'm able to work with our teams and you guys is because I've been in such close proximity to ask what seem like dumb questions, but very real questions when you're in the process of developing and creating something. And I talk about my age, I'm 28 years old, because most people can think of themselves when they were 28 years old and recognize, oh, wait, I wasn't exactly like, I didn't have this all together. And again, not to toot my own horn, I've had incredible mentors. One I happen to marry, thank God, he's the greatest human being on the face of the planet. But I get to ask you questions every single day. I get to ask Grant questions all the time. If you had the opportunity to ask them questions and to prepare for that, I know it would change your life because it still changes my life and I get to do it every single day. So the proximity that you would get is just, and the relationships that you would build with other people really is an incredible opportunity. And you get to do it in Cabo San Lucas, which is one of the greatest places on the face of this planet. So if you're interested in joining us at this Cabo Mastermind, please let our team know in the chat. We would love to get you signed up. Do you want to take one more question?
Sure, let's do it. Scotty.
Scooter Scotty.
Scooter Scotty.
Hey guys, thanks for calling on me. I mean, I really already heard what I needed to hear, and you hit it right on the head with taking massive action and attack speed. But my question related to like I need a couple of technicians in my business, and I've been advertising, and it's like I heard you mention a few weeks ago recruiting, you know, taking action, going out there. It's like the two vultures sitting on a branch, like I'm ready to kill something. Like I'm done waiting for the person I need to walk into my life. And I just wanted some creative ideas of where a guy like me, I'm not a mechanic. I don't really run in circles with mechanics, but I need mechanics. I need some ideas where I can go meet people and try to get some mechanics in my life. Thank you.
Well, where would those people be?
You know, I feel like I know where to find them, but I would be like walking into somebody else's business almost, you know, to try to recruit them. They would be working.
What do you, so tell everybody what I can see it in the background, but tell everybody what you sell.
I sell motorcycles, go-karts, mopeds, scooters, ATVs, dirt bikes, all that fun stuff.
So where could you go over the next 2 weeks and see people on the tracks and riding those things?
You see there, Brandon, I hadn't thought about where people are having fun doing it. I was thinking about, but I mean, so there's my idea right there.
Because you're going to go out there and you're going to start asking the people that are actually riding their bikes and riding their go-karts and doing all that. And you're going to say, look, I'm looking for mechanics. Anybody that gives me a mechanic, I'm going to give you a $500 credit. You send somebody over to me. Go to where the people that are using the products are and network with them. And this is promotion, guys. You guys, running ads and sitting back waiting for things to happen. That's not how business is built. You go to where the action is, create an incentive. I'll guarantee you go hang out with the go-karters and the motorbikers and the this and the that. You're going to get dozens of referrals of people that might not even be technically what you would consider a mechanic, that are better qualified because they've been building stuff at home and they've been thinking about a career change. And some of them might be kids that are sitting there wanting to earn extra money, and you could have handful of great mechanics that would come in and do a phenomenal job, and you can give them a career opportunity. So, everyone's like thinking something's going to solve their problems. The only way your problems get solved is you go to where the action is. We showed up at GrowthCon to meet Grant because Grant wasn't going to come to our little house in Vancouver, Washington, or in Scottsdale, Arizona, and ask us what we wanted to do.
Well, thank you, man. That's $1 million worth of advice right there. And I will take action on it. Next Tuesday, I'll have an update for you on who I found.
Yeah, good. Do it. And you know what? How much are those helmets behind you? If you came in and bought one helmet?
They range anywhere from $100 to $500.
How many kids, if you went and said, anybody that refers a great mechanic to you, you're giving them a $500 credit in the shop for anything that they want to come in and get out of their shop. How many referrals do you think you'll get?
Man, I'd get a bunch of referrals.
So
I'd have mechanics for sale.
And it's better to solve it that way, where your customers are bringing it to you, because they'll appreciate you that much more and they'll bring you more business.
That's great advice. I'm glad I would be nowhere else on Tuesday nights. I promise you guys. I look forward to seeing you soon. And thank you for the.
All right, buddy. Great. Right. Let us know. Follow up on that. Let us know.
I'll let you know next Tuesday.
Okay. The YouTube channel. Is that what we said? Yeah. Let's go check out. What is it? Is it? I can't remember. Oh, there you go. You're sharing one. Yeah. Go
We're
check out
producing
the-
new content every week. We have a lot of good content and great things coming out on our YouTube channel in the coming weeks. We do not want any of you to miss this. So it's in the chat, our YouTube channel. If you want to go ahead and click the follow button, also that little alert notification will let you know when new videos are posted. So you don't have to wait to Owners Live or anybody else telling you about the cool thing. You can be the first to know when you hit the little bell that has the notification button on Brandon Dawson's YouTube page.
Yeah, so someone wrote, what a quick answer on the spot. Look, this is why I love doing these shows, because here's the thing.
Because most people who give business advice never do live things.
And they don't actually.
Ever. You can never get access to these people. They're not real people. They have their standard canned 90 minutes of this is my thing, this is my shtick, this is my spiel, but it is not like, hey, give me this business question or issue, and then somebody actually responds to
And
it.
this is why John Maxwell, when we did our first live event together in 2012, and we took live questions from the audience with like 1,500 people, we were just banging answers out. And anybody that went to the Mastermind saw us do this together, that when he was here. But the thing is that comes with experience, and so.
And you can't pay for this experience. Like we were just talking to this new team member. We'll be announcing to you guys very soon about some recent hires that we've made at Cardone Ventures that we're very excited about. But we were explaining, how Cardone Ventures is positioned in the marketplace, and he made the comment that, it's not like PwC or these big consulting firms are giving accessible advice to small business owners like each and every one of you, much less like sitting down and creating the opportunities that we create to connect with you. And so this is part of why we did put this Cabo Mastermind together. If you guys want to put that slide up one last time, this is a fabulous place.
And it's going to be rapid fire Q&A, and you're going to have a lot of people in that room.
And hopefully people who are smarter than you, who have gone through more business challenges and have grown more than you have, and you can hear the questions that they're asking, because the value in their questions is gold.
I can tell you right now, Grant said it on that video. It's a mistake I made. I did not put myself in rooms with people in my first business. And so I wasn't around the right people, and I got lost in the process, and it cost me. One piece of information could change everything about your net worth. It's 100%. I can promise you that. So look, we love doing this show. We cannot wait to see those of you that are going to be here. I will be popping in and out with Natalie on the live cast.
Yeah, we'll be on the virtual. So for those of you who are on virtual, like, let's represent, let's get some attention. Let's make sure that you can connect with people. We will be on the virtual for sure. And then we'll also, for those of you in person, be hanging out at the booth. We have a 10X Health suite there. We have our Cardone Equity Group and our buy sell business units that will be there if you're interested in investing in potential.
Yeah, we're closing our first.
equity front.
We're actually raising our first round. We've got a handful of businesses we're going to start acquiring. It's going to be a great opportunity to invest with us and come alongside if you want to. Cardone Equity Group.
Come say hi to us at GrowthCon. Like,
Yeah, no
we
matter
want to
what,
say hi.
you gotta come say hi.
Let's take a selfie. Let's don't think that we're, too busy. Sometimes there's a lot going on and you just forget to be like, oh, hey, or maybe we're asking you, like, we want to say hi. We want to see you in person, because you feel so close yet so far away in this virtual environment we got going on Tuesday nights.
Awesome. Can't wait to see everybody. Have a wonderful week. And we will talk to you next Tuesday. We'll do a recap of
10X Owners
10X Owners Live.
The whole purpose of this show is to engage with business owners and be able to answer questions for people that will give them some insight and perspective on how to grow and scale a business. Not only leadership, but real life examples. This is the golden moment. I would do business with you right now.